sends a clear message to the American people that what we value. First, fiscal responsibility. Second, safety and security. And thirdly, the investments needed to build a better America. It makes prudent investments in economic growth and more equitable economy while making sure corporations and the very wealthy pay their fair share.
President Biden calling for the largest tax hike in history, an additional $2.5 trillion to pay for his massive $5.8 trillion spending plan. The new proposal, outlined Monday, includes a 20% minimum tax on corporations and wealthy Americans whose income is $100 million or more. The president says this plan will, quote, reduce Trump's deficit and return the fiscal house to order. But a lot of folks disagree, of course. Here with the reaction, CEO of American Majority, Ned Ryun. Man, Ned, he knows what's up. Ned, good to see you.
Good to be back with you, Buck.
So putting Biden in charge of tackling the debt and the deficit is like asking the arsonist to be the chief firefighter, I feel like. But let's take a look at what we've got here. Biden's fiscal year 2023 budget, a $31 billion increase in defense spending, cut the cost of health care, child care, $30 billion in police resources, $3.2 billion for state and local spending, and a whole lot of other stuff. I think like $15 billion, give or take a few billion, for climate change research, et cetera, et cetera. What do you make of this, Ned?
Well, I mean, this bill really encapsulates what I described the Biden administration as a whole, that it's a collision of bad monetary policy and bad energy policy. And this bill really captures all of those things. My first thought was, Buck, why not make it 10 trillion? Why not make it 20 trillion? It's already detached from reality. Just put down whatever funny figure you want, because I don't think anybody looking at that actually thinks this is realistic. But back to bad monetary policy, this is going to add, despite his claims that this is fiscally responsible, it's going to add 1.3 trillion at a minimum to our deficit, which last time we did that, they did that the first few months of his administration. It was like pouring jet fuel on inflation. And then you look at some of the other funny stuff that's put in there. They're removing the tax incentives for oil and gas companies. They're adding $11 billion for other nations to be on more efficient, clean fuel. I mean, this is just, it's insane. And the thing that's pretty amazing to me, Buck, when you look at this, they're doubling down on all the bad policies that have led us to this point with inflation, but they're also doubling down on really bad energy policy. And I keep on reminding people, we've already seen empirical evidence for really bad energy policy. Look at Germany. They invested $600 billion over the last 20-some years to end up having to buy the majority of their energy from Russia. And all the money they spent on solar and wind energy has basically left them heavily dependent upon Russia for all of their actual energy needs. This is absolutely insane, and yet they continue to double down. The Biden administration continues to double down on their bad spending policy and their bad energy policy, and nothing good for the American people is going to come of it.
Don't miss American Scandal, Hunter Biden. A new First TV exclusive special hosted by Buck Sexton. Available right now only on the First TV app.